What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of the Tatiana Harness podcast. I have a very special guest with me. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Nicole Rodriguez-Anderson, and I'm a sixth year at Portland University, women's basketball.
So I was had the opportunity to meet Nicole when she was playing AAU basketball, actually, and it was like a
Mhm.
really long time ago now, maybe like 7 or 8 years. I was
Long
very
time
young.
ago.
Yeah, very young, but I've definitely looked up to her for the longest time. So I'm excited to have you on here.
Oh, thank you.
So why don't you share a little bit just about your journey, like how you got started with basketball, obviously where it's
Mhm.
taking you. You're at college now for it, which is amazing. So share a little
Yeah.
bit of that with us.
Yeah, so I started playing basketball when I was in middle school, but it was nothing serious at all because my passion was baseball, actually.
Mm.
I played all the way through high school or up to freshman year of high school. I played a little bit of softball in between. So that was my passion. I thought I was going to do that in college and, do all these things, but started playing basketball in middle school. It was for like my middle school like PE class, and then I found out that they like played the other schools around, so I was like, sure, I'll just try it. And I was like pretty athletic as a kid, so I picked it up pretty easy. I was not good, but I was like athletic enough to like compete at least a little bit. And then I just started meeting, a lot of different people in the basketball world, and my journey just kind of like led that way naturally. I joined like a travel ball team where I met this girl, her name is Naomi, and she kind of like inspired me to continue with basketball. We both joined Cal Storm AAU together, and then I met George, and I realized how big the basketball world was and how competitive it was, and I was just like really drawn to it. So that's kind of how I ended up in basketball, and then obviously went to play college and still in college now, but yeah.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. I feel like I kind of have a similar story because I started playing, well, mine was in elementary school, but I didn't even want to play
Mhm.
basketball, but my friends were doing it, and I was like, you know
Yeah.
what, I'll just try it out, and then I just loved it from there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I feel like you're really close with your family. You always have been. How big of a
Mhm.
role did they play in your journey to where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, my family was everything. I couldn't do anything that I'm doing without them, because of their huge sacrifice, money wise, travel time, like everything, and also just like quality time. I know that like mine and my brother's relationship wasn't always like super close because I was literally always gone, and he was also very like dedicated to his like band stuff in high school. So like
Mhm.
we were both super busy, but that like took a toll. Even like extended family, cousins, aunts, uncles, like grandparents, like of course as much free time as I got, like that's kind of what I was doing, hanging out with them. But
Yeah.
it would always like I would always feel like sad if like, oh, I couldn't hang out with them because like I can't go to Disneyland this weekend, I have to go like train, or
Yeah.
I have a tournament or something like that. But honestly, like my parents would do anything for me to be like successful, and that played a huge, huge role, and I'm so like grateful for them.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely a team effort, especially like the
Hmm.
whole AAU scene. I mean, there's so much
Hmm.
travel involved and money. It's so expensive and
Yeah, so
everything.
expensive. Hmm.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about like what your recruitment was like? Because
Hmm.
there's some people that are like so good when they're young and they get all these early offers, but then there's also some who are considered like late bloomers. Do you want to
Hmm.
just talk a little bit of like maybe what your recruitment process was like?
Yeah, I was definitely a late bloomer. Like I said, started a little later. So,
Hmm.
I didn't really understand how like serious all this stuff was until probably like junior year of high school. Like I was playing and I was just like being around the girls more, and especially AAU, like it totally changed my perspective, and like seeing my teammates get all these offers and stuff, and then like I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. And I
Yeah.
had nothing. I would get like letters and stuff like that. And I actually remember the first time I got a letter because my mom picked me up from school, and I
Mhm.
was telling her like I was getting so discouraged because like no one was reaching out to me. I had no type of offers, interest, nothing. And she literally brought me my first letter of interest
Oh
like
my
when she
God.
picked me up from school. So I was like, "Oh wow, like maybe I can do this." Like that's kind of cool. So um then I kept playing, and then I remember still, it was like going into my last year of AAU, so end of junior year,
Hmm.
going into, sorry, end of the summer, going into my senior year, and I still didn't
Uh-huh.
really have any offers. And I remember sitting down with Coach George and
Yeah.
like, like, what am I gonna do? Like, no one's offered me, like, I'm stressing. And he was like, you just have to like trust the process. And I'll never forget, he told me, he's like, if you work hard every single day, it's impossible that you won't make it. And I've always had like a pretty good work ethic because of
Yeah.
like baseball, I was the only girl, so I always had to like prove myself. And even basketball, just to like compete with these girls, I had to work 10 times harder than them because they were so just naturally good and I was not.
Hmm.
So, I was just like, okay, so I just kept working. And then I got my first offer. And then but I kind of felt like I didn't do it on my own, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so appreciative of like my coaches for like helping me like get to places and making connections for me. But I was just like, I really want to feel like, I worked for it and I earned it on my own. Um, so my friend, going back to Naomi, she actually went to LMU and she told me about like the elite camp that they had. And
Yeah.
she's like, you should really come. Like, I was like, I don't know. Like, they don't even know who I am. Like, why would I go? And she's like, just come. It'll be fine. Like, I was like, okay. So I went and I ended up doing really well. And halfway through the camp, they offered me a scholarship.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, so that one I was like, okay, like I know this one, like I got on my own.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that. And I remember telling Coach George, and then at our next tournament, he told me to call them and just commit. So it's
That's
okay.
so
So
cool.
yeah,
That
that's
would
kind
had
of
to have been
my.
so exciting
Oh,
too.
I was so excited. And like I remember driving up to campus because LMU is like an hour and a half away from my house, so not too
Okay.
far because I'm from like that area. So
Hmm.
I remember I was like sleeping the whole way there, and then I woke up, and I don't know if you've ever been to LMU, but like you go up
Yeah.
the bluff and it's just like beautiful. You can like see the city. And I
Hmm.
remember waking up, I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to go here so bad. And so I was just so happy like when I got an offer, like it was great.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
so crazy how it all happened and
I
how
know. Yeah, and that was
almost
not
I don't want
only
to say
two.
yeah, I was gonna say not like last minute, but it was really kind of
No,
late
it was,
too.
yeah, it was pretty late because it was right before my senior year started.
Hmm.
So I definitely like got late offers, but then I committed early.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. That's amazing how it all
hmm
worked out.
Yeah.
So one thing that I did want to talk about, let me get this straight. So like I know that you got injured. I think
hmm
I saw you tore your ACL and MCL.
Yep.
Okay, so I know that's like a really big setback, and
hmm
a lot of people just like reconsider not even playing at that point.
hmm
How did you like maintain to keep yourself positive and keep your love for the game during that process? Because it's a long process of recovery and
hmm
everything.
Yeah, so I got injured. So obviously I spent 4 years at LMU
Hmm.
and my freshman year was during COVID. So I got a fifth year. So I transferred
Yeah,
to SMU in Dallas. And so I worked out with them all summer and then we had a foreign trip and we were in Greece and Croatia.
that's
And
so cool.
so yeah, it was so fun. But our game in Croatia, it was literally I was in the game for about 30 seconds and I went and scored a layup and then I just landed and I felt like it felt like a twig like snapped in my knee and I felt like my knee
Ugh,
buckle and I was like, okay, I know that's not normal because I've never had like a major injury before.
yeah,
I just had like some ankle sprains and stuff. So but I knew that wasn't normal. But I was like, I don't know because I've never experienced any type of knee injury or anything. So, but
yeah.
I remember it hurt really bad and I was laying on the floor, like crying. But I remember feeling like a lot of peace in that moment. My faith carried me through the whole entire process. Like, um, from the moment it happened up until like this very moment, I was just so at peace because my belief is that like, God is in control of everything that happens to me. So, you know, regardless if I expect it or not, like I have to have that hope and peace in him that he's in control and that he's gonna work all things for good. So, I remember laying there and just thinking and like saying like it's okay, God, like I trust you, like it's gonna be okay. So, it's been a lot of ups and downs. I'm a year out now, a little bit past a year now. But there's still like the process, of like I
Yeah.
was going up, like when it first happened, I was actually in the hospital for a little bit longer because my pain was not manageable. So, it was like a slow start and then finally I don't know if you're familiar with like all the recovery things, but I finally got past 90 degrees of like the bending. So then
Oh
I
yeah,
started to
yeah.
like go up in like the recovery process. And then it kind of just went down and up and down. So it's just like, and then transferring to like you have to meet different protocols and to get
Right.
cleared. And so I got cleared at SMU, but at Portland Standard, I wasn't cleared. So I was like, okay, I'm playing.
Mhm.
And then, oh, nope, we got to go back. You're like, you're not playing anymore. You're actually not even doing contact. So it's like really hard mentally,
Yeah.
especially like as an athlete, like like you go from doing working out like 3 times a day, like doing crazy workouts to nothing. And like the best thing for you is actually recovery. It's not working out. So flipping that switch was difficult, but like I said, just like maintaining my hope in Jesus, like carried me through all of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
I've always heard of like a lot of people tearing their ACLs and stuff. Thankfully, I've never had an injury like that, but my
Hmm.
friend who I was playing or my teammate that I was playing AAU with this season, we played AAU all the way through and then during I think it was like a July team camp or something. She was playing, I think she was literally just she had just got a rebound and she like went down and she
Hmm.
ended up tearing her ACL and MCL and she's still
Yeah.
recovering from it. It's like gosh, it's gonna take a really long time, you know? And so I know that's
Yeah.
gotta be like scary in the moment and I couldn't
Hmm.
imagine.
Yeah, definitely scary and definitely made me think like I remember laying in the hospital bed like no way I'm ever playing again. Like this is
Yeah.
insane. Like I can't. But obviously that was just like in the moment because of like the pain and like but even through my recovery process like in the early stages, it was so difficult because of like just like the state that your body changes to, like it's insane. And that
Hmm.
in the moment you feel like, how am I even gonna walk again? Like this is like horrible.
Gosh.
But just like takes time and yeah, it's good now. So
Yeah,
yeah.
thankfully. Wait, so
Hmm.
how far out are you from being able to play? Do you know yet or have like a range of time?
Yeah, so I just actually recently passed the Portland protocols
Okay.
to be like out of my brace and stuff, which is good. So now it's like slowly integrating into like contact, more running, cutting. So I
Mhm.
would say like a month I'll be able to be full go.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we'll hopefully be able to watch you play this season then.
Oh
That'll be
yeah, for sure.
exciting.
I'll be playing. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So like during that time of recovery, obviously you were like still in basketball, but kind of away from it, not being able to
Hmm.
participate in it. This kind of goes hand in hand with the question I was gonna ask, but like, did you find any new hobbies,
Hmm.
while during that time, since you weren't able to play basketball, or
Hmm.
and or also like, what are some of your hobbies just in general outside of basketball?
Yeah, I always struggle with this question because like I've committed so much time to like my sport.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to like that family question, like that sacrifice with the time and stuff. Like I feel like you have to sacrifice a lot of things in order to be like successful. And a lot of that does come with like hobbies and downtime. So,
Mhm.
as I got older though, I've realized how important that is. And for me, it's not necessarily a hobby, it's more of just like kind of doing what I want to do. So, like, every day I have a schedule laid out for me. Like, I have to be here at this time, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, right? So, it's
Mhm.
like when I don't have that, I just like to kind of relax and
Yeah.
not really, you know, do too many things. But if I like have a few days off or like if I was to go do something, I really enjoy like nature. I love watching movies. Kind of just like really chill, low-key things. I'm not too much
Yeah.
of like a, artist or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a hard question for me to answer too, because like I have
Hmm.
my podcast, which is always my answer,
Hmm.
which is a fun thing. But then outside of that, it's like if I'm not playing basketball or going to school, it's like I'd rather just rest and relax.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is a hard question, especially for
Yeah.
athletes to answer.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
So you also just got married, which is so
Hmm.
cool. And I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Like just how it's a big milestone like in life and
Hmm.
everything. Like how has that like impacted your life or what are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, I know it's so crazy because like I mean I'm still in college and stuff, but I'm like on the older side. I'm pretty old actually. Like I'm gonna be 24 in November. So I'm pretty old, but yeah, this was like a huge decision, but a super easy one. Like I mean, we met freshman year at LMU and
Mhm.
so we've been together. We've had a lot of like ups and downs for sure, but that all comes back to like our faith and growing closer to Christ and stuff and individually. Um so I mean, he's my best friend. He's helped me grow even through like my knee process, basketball in general and just like as a person. So like it was obviously like a no-brainer to like get married and so he's playing overseas right now and in Finland. And
Oh wow,
so when
so
I'm
cool.
done here, I'll probably like move out there and go with him. So like we wanted to like honor the Lord and not like live together while we're not married and stuff. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was just like an easy decision for us to make and it was honestly like the best. I know like a lot of people like big weddings and stuff, but like
Yeah,
it was super intimate. We did it like at the courthouse with our families and like my mom helped me get ready. His mom helped me get ready, and it was just like really, really special. So yeah, it was
that's so
fun.
cool. That's so
Hmm.
amazing. And
Yeah.
congratulations. That's so
Thank
cool.
you.
I have two more questions. One
Hmm.
of them, what do you see like your future career being? Do you think you like want to
Hmm.
play overseas for basketball, more on the business side? What do you think as of right now?
Yeah. So, I would love to play overseas. Like, if God like allows me to and gives me the opportunity, it would be amazing.
Hmm.
But also, I know one day eventually, like, I'm gonna have to stop playing. So, like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do? And I'm actually working on a clothing company right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's a Christian clothing company. It's called Kol, Kol, and that means like all in Hebrew because my clothes are gonna represent different Bible stories. So
Oh,
like yeah, so it kind of ties like together like the name and everything. So I'm definitely in like the early stages of it. I got the idea, well, God gave me the idea like a little bit over a year ago now. So I've kind of just been like sketching, not really taking things too serious, but every time like I go to like make a design or like think about something, like I literally get so like excited and I'm like, okay, this is like really cool. Like I really want to do this. So um I'm like starting to like take it like a lot more serious and like making plans, like a business timeline and stuff. So
mhm.
yeah, that's definitely what I want to do.
That's so exciting. I'll definitely
Hmm.
have to get some one of your
Yeah, I
merch
gotta send you
merchandise.
some.
Yes, definitely. I love to.
Yeah.
Okay, my last
Hmm.
question, and this is probably my favorite question I ask on all my podcasts. What is
Hmm.
one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I definitely think about this a lot, and it's just you can't care what other people think. And that ties in with everything in my life, like definitely with sports, but like even in my personal life, I'm always stressing about like what people think of me and, if I'm like good enough in people's eyes and like that doesn't really align with like my faith, right? So like obviously if I'm living for Christ, like I'm only supposed to care about what Jesus thinks of me and like if I'm
Mhm.
honoring him with the way that I'm living. So like I can't care about that. And even like in basketball, it was a really hard decision for me to decide if I wanted to come back this year because I'm 24 years old and I'm like
Yeah.
I remember going on visits and hearing about girls being 60 years and like, oh my gosh, like what is she doing? Like she needs to move on with her life. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, I can't, you know, make the plans that God has for me. Like I have to just obey what he has. And I was really like praying about this decision to come back or not. And like, here I am. So, but that played a huge role, like of caring about what people thought of me. Like, oh my gosh, like she's old, she's married. Like, what is she playing against 18-year-olds for, you know? But it's like
Yeah.
I can't care about that. I just have to focus on God and yeah, that just applies in everything, even like when I make a mistake in a game. I'm still working on all these things, definitely, but like thinking like, oh my gosh, like what people think I suck, or like what is my coach thinking, or my teammates, like I can't let them down. And it's like I just have to stay focused on like even just in life, like next play in life, next play and like, how am I gonna fix that situation, or how am I just gonna grow and learn from that situation, not so much like dwell on the past.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like
Hmm.
basketball teaches a lot of life lessons too. I feel like I've
Hmm.
learned a lot just from the game
Hmm.
itself. So
For
thank you so
sure.
much for sharing that. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
That's all the questions I had for today. Is there anything else before we go ahead and wrap it up that you wanted to share, elaborate?
No, I think we're good. I'm so thankful that you asked me to be on the podcast.
Yes, definitely, of course. I'm so excited to watch your college career this season, see you finish it
Hmm.
up, and then see everything else you accomplished. And I'll definitely have to get some of your merch because that's so
Yes, I'm
amazing.
gonna send you some.
Okay, great. Well, that's all I had for today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course.